So I saw this tweet the other day that said Alex Pereira can become the first ever 3-division UFC champion, and that got me thinking, what are the chances of this happening, and how does he do in the heavyweight division? So obviously he's a 2-division champion. He won the middleweight belt a year ago and just recently won the light heavyweight belt. Now, right now he's obviously in no position to just move up to heavyweight and get an immediate title shot, especially with how much of a shit show the heavyweight division is right now, with Jon Jones being injured and out for another 6 months to a year potentially, with Jon wanting to fight Stipe and Stipe only wanting to fight Jon, and with Tom Aspinall as the interim champion. But because Alex is nowhere near being able to just jump up and get a title shot immediately, that gives time for the division to clear itself up. Now, if he were to go up to heavyweight and beat someone in the top 5 first, then get a title shot, I could see that happening. But I think his best chance at winning the heavyweight belt is going up there and getting an immediate title shot, because I don't like his chances of winning 2 heavyweight fights back to back. So how does that happen? He would have to defend the belt at light heavyweight a couple times. It seems like Jamal Hill is next, and Jamal Hill should be next, and I like Alex's chances against Jamal Hill, so say he beats Jamal Hill, then faces the winner of Johnny Walker, Ankalaev, and I really like his chances against Johnny Walker. And Johnny Walker, I think, could potentially beat Ankalaev. I would favor Ankalaev, but I think Ankalaev is Alex's nightmare matchup, his worst matchup. But for the sake of this argument, we'll say he beats Ankalaev or Walker next. Then if he gets a third title defense, say maybe Izzy comes up and they do the third fight there, or maybe a Yuri rematch, it doesn't really matter who it is. If he goes out there and gets that third title defense, then I think he has the merit to go up to heavyweight. But now that we have his route mapped out, a realistic path for him to get to the heavyweight title, how does he do in the heavyweight division against the top contenders that could likely be champion at this time? But first, let's obviously address the weight issue. A lot of people are going to say he is way too small for heavyweight. He's not that big of a light heavyweight, which is true. Alex is a big light heavyweight, but he's not a huge one, and he would definitely be a small heavyweight. However, he is similar in size to guys like Jailton Almeida. Back when Stipe was a champion, he's very similar in size to Stipe. Stipe weighed in around 230 for most of his fights, and Alex walks around somewhere around 235. And weight-wise, he is very similar to Daniel Cormier, who for his heavyweight fights weighed in around 235, 240, so he's only slightly smaller than DC. Alex is also extremely strong. He is 233 pounds of pure muscle. His strength, his reach, his length, I think will all translate to the heavyweight division. He'll definitely be a smaller heavyweight, but I don't think the size is as big of an issue as some people say. Now, against the current champ, Jon Jones, he has pretty much no chance. Jones is going to take him down instantly and submit him in the first round. However, I think by the time Alex would move up to heavyweight, Jones will be long gone. And Jon Jones is Alex's worst matchup at heavyweight. So if Jones is retired by then, he would be able to avoid his worst stylistic matchup. Now, Tom Aspinall, same thing. I don't see him beating Tom Aspinall. A little worse wrestler than Jones, but I do think he has the wrestling to take Alex Pereira down, and he has the size advantage. He'll be like 20 pounds bigger than Alex. Now, on the feet, Alex could definitely have some success, and he probably would get the better of Aspinall. The power of Aspinall is worrying, but Aspinall has a shorter reach, and Aspinall leaves his chin straight up in the air. If Alex catches him with that left hook, I think he could knock him out. Now, Aspinall's chin has looked pretty good, and some people would question whether Alex's power would translate to the heavyweight division. I think so. I think Alex's power will translate to whatever division he's in. So on the feet, although Aspinall could win some exchanges and potentially knock him out, I would favor Alex. However, I don't see Alex defending the takedowns, and I think the second this fight goes to the ground, he'll give up his back and Aspinall will choke him out or transition into an armbar or find some sort of submission. I see Aspinall beating Alex by a first or second round submission. Here is where it gets interesting. Ciryl Gane. Could Alex beat Ciryl Gane? Gane will be the heavier guy. He'll have 10 to 15 pounds on Alex. However, Ciryl is not a wrestler or a grappler. He's a striker. And Alex, to me, is the best striker in the UFC. He is a better striker than Ciryl Gane, despite Ciryl Gane being the best heavyweight striker of all time, in my opinion. Ciryl also doesn't have as much power as some of the other heavyweights. Definitely doesn't have more power than Alex, I would say, despite being a bigger guy. Now, the size of Ciryl and the length and just the overall diversity of strikes he would throw at Alex, the looks he would give Alex would be scary. He would definitely have the speed advantage. He's the fastest heavyweight on the planet, in my opinion. Him and Tom Aspinall are top 2. He could throw leg kicks, switch stances, and throw the high kick. He can constantly throw that jab at Alex, set up the right hand off that jab, but he doesn't have amazing striking defense. Now, he has barely been caught. He wasn't really caught against Francis Ngannou or Derek Lewis. He got caught once against Tai Tuivasa, but Alex is by far and away the most technical striker he would have ever seen. But keeping his chin straight up in the air and his hands super low is worrying, and if he switches stances to southpaw because of the leg kick damage, that's another thing. Most people don't throw leg kicks at Ciryl Gane, and Alex is going to constantly throw leg kicks, so if he switches to opposite stances to avoid the outside leg kick, although that does open up the head kick for him, it also opens up the head kick for Alex. And I don't think he can take Alex to the ground. Alex's takedown defense is decent, and Ciryl has never even shot a takedown, I don't think. And his wrestling isn't great, so I could see this just being a pure striking match. And in a pure striking match, call me crazy, but I think Alex might beat Ciryl Gane. It is close. I would probably have it like 52 to 48 Alex. I trust Alex's chin to hold up against Ciryl's shots, and I don't know if Ciryl can take all of Alex's shots, and Ciryl is not used to seeing someone as technical as Alex and as fast as Alex, so I actually think Alex might beat Ciryl Gane. Call me crazy again, but I think Alex beat Sergei Pavlovich. Now, the power coming back at Alex is scary. Sergei is the hardest hitting guy in the UFC, in my opinion, and Sergei has a good right straight, which is the punch Alex is most susceptible to. We saw Yuri catch him with that many times, and we saw Izzy knock him out with that right straight, and Alex doesn't have the best striking defense, so that is worrying. However, I don't think Sergei is going to take Alex to the ground. Sergei does have a background in Greco-Roman, and his wrestling hasn't looked terrible, but he's never even shot in a takedown, so I don't see him taking Alex down. And then on the feet, yeah, he's going to have the clear power advantage, and if he lands once on Alex, it could be over. But we all see how good Alex's chin has looked at light heavyweight now that he doesn't have to cut so much weight, and he wouldn't have to cut any weight at heavyweight, so I can only imagine his chin will be better. Sergei has a massive weakness to the leg kicks because of how he stands. He stands like a boxer with all of his weight on his front foot, and we saw how Tom Aspinall was able to use the leg kicks to sort of draw Sergei out of his shell and make him a little more wild than he should have been. Every single leg kick Aspinall threw landed, and the first one nearly knocked Sergei off his feet, and Alex has the best leg kicks in the UFC, in my opinion. Don't know if they're more powerful than Aspinall's, but they're definitely not far behind. So I think off those leg kicks, if Sergei blitzes in, Alex could catch him with that left hook and knock him out, or he could catch him with the right hand that Tom Aspinall did. And Alex is very quick, he's very powerful, and Sergei's chin has maybe not been as good as we thought. So I actually think Alex beats Sergei. Now, although Stipe will probably be gone by the time Alex moves up to heavyweight, I think Stipe would win. I think he would just out-wrestle Alex for 5 rounds like he did to Francis in the first fight. Stipe is bigger nowadays. He's in the 240s instead of the 220s, 230s that he used to fight at. But if Alex can keep this fight standing, Stipe is a great boxer. Probably the best boxer in heavyweight history. His boxing fundamentals are great. He's good defensively. He's not going to be easy to hit, but we don't know where his chin is after that Francis Ngannou loss. And Alex can just kick him at range. So if Stipe can't take him down, or if he can take him down and Alex can get back up because Stipe doesn't have very good jiu-jitsu, I could actually see Alex winning. I'll still lean with Stipe, but I think Alex has a pretty good chance at beating Stipe. Curtis Blaydes should beat Alex, but he is the guy that would find a way to lose. Curtis Blaydes is a great wrestler, the second best wrestler in the heavyweight division, in my opinion, but he doesn't really shoot takedowns as much as he should. He sometimes falls in love with the hands a little too much. Like against Sergei, he should have shot immediately, and I think he only shot once, and it wasn't even a great shot. Now, on the feet, he's no slouch. He has very good boxing, not great kicks, and he does stand like a boxer, so those leg kicks from Pereira are always going to be there, and if Pereira were to go up to heavyweight permanently and face like multiple contenders, those leg kicks are going to be a massive problem because most heavyweights are boxers. If Curtis Blaydes fights this smart and takes Alex down immediately, he's not going to submit Alex, but I also don't really see Alex getting up from the bottom against Curtis. He could maybe, but I think the size would just be way too much. But if Curtis goes out there and entertains the striking, I could absolutely see Alex chinning him with an uppercut or a left hook, setting that up off the leg kicks. Those leg kicks are going to do a lot of damage to Curtis Blaydes' more front foot style stance. Now, Curtis would tag Alex for sure, but in boxing range, I would trust that Alex's chin would hold up, and I don't know if Curtis Blaydes' chin would hold up, but I would go with Curtis Blaydes in the end. Alexander Volkov probably should be able to beat Alex. He should be able to take him down and submit him, but he is older, and on the feet, he has a lot of power, which is scary against Alex. But again, there's very few guys that I would trust to beat Alex on the feet. Ciryl, Gane, and Sergei Pavlovich are really the only two I see Alex losing to on the feet potentially. And possibly Tom Aspinall because of the speed and the power, but Alex is a much more technical striker than Aspinall. And then I actually think Alex beats Jailton Almeida. Almeida has great grappling, one of the best grapplers in the heavyweight division. He'll definitely be able to hold positions on Alex. He might not be able to submit him, but he'll definitely be able to hold positions and ride out rounds. But he's not the best wrestler. His takedowns have no setup to him, and if they are set up, he does the exact same setup where he feints high, often with both hands, and then dives for the double leg. So Alex could absolutely see those, identify them, and counter the takedowns. And on the feet, Alex is so much better. Almeida has not very good boxing. His boxing defense isn't great. He has good kicks, but Alex has better kicks from range. Those leg kicks are always going to be there. He can set up the high kick, and Almeida is one of the only guys in the heavyweight division Alex would be bigger than. He is at least the same size, if not a little bigger than Almeida. So I actually think Almeida, out of everyone here, is his easiest matchup. Now, if Almeida does get it to the ground, Alex would be in trouble, but Almeida couldn't submit Derek Lewis, so I see him having a hard time submitting Alex Pereira. But in the end, can I see Alex becoming a 3-division champion? The answer is yes, he can become a 3-division champion. Would he? I doubt it. By the time he goes up to heavyweight, I think the top guys will be Sergei Pavlovich, Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane, and Jailton Almeida maybe. I think John Jones and Stipe will be retired. I think Alexander Volkov could potentially be retired. He is only 35, so he could still be around. But I guess it depends on the matchup, and I don't know if he'd ever even warrant a immediate title shot at heavyweight. So if he wanted to go up to heavyweight, there's a chance he'd need to win first before getting a title shot, and I don't see him beating a mix of 2 different guys at heavyweight. But I think if he does go up to heavyweight, I think the 3 guys that will most likely have the belt will be Ciryl, Sergei, and Aspinall. And although I think he could beat Ciryl and Sergei, those would be close fights and competitive fights that he could absolutely lose. I don't see him beating Tom Aspinall, and I think Tom Aspinall will most likely be the champion when and if Alex were to ever move up to heavyweight. But if Alex does someday move up to heavyweight and does win the belt, that would probably be the biggest accomplishment in UFC history. You would probably have to rank him in the top 10, maybe even top 5 of the all-time greatest fighters, and he'd probably be the #1 greatest combat sports athlete of all time easily. Right now it's a debate, and he's in that conversation, but if he defends the light heavyweight belt a couple times and then moves up to heavyweight and wins the heavyweight belt, I don't think there's any debate. But anyways, that's the end of the video. If you are new here and you did enjoy, please be sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Tell me down in the comments if you think Alex has a chance of becoming a heavyweight champion, a 3-division UFC champ, the first one ever. I'd love to hear your opinions. Like the video if you did enjoy and you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video.